I added an LED light strip to my Tesla Juniper. It does turn signals, blind spot awarenesses, and even other modes. And here's how I installed it.
So before we get into the install, let's talk about what do we have, what's in the box. First, it'll come with a light, which obviously we're going to unstring this here in a second. Then it comes with this little piece of plastic, which is just a flexible fish tape. Then you have this little series of harnesses here. It's basically two T's that go off to eventually this is going to run up to this little light bar. This T is going to be like the brains, like the OB center of the box actually knows what doors are open, what turn signals are on, things like that. Then this is the T that actually gives it its DC voltage power. And the last two things you have is the little extension that goes from this little T up to that actual light bar. Then it gives you this little black trim tool. It's going to help you pry open some of these panels that we'll get into all the way up and down, but also open up this panel here up top. So in order to get started on this, you got to take apart this little panel here. So I pulled this all open a few weeks, maybe a month back now. You can see that little front-facing screen that I have above my steering wheel, that also tapped into its power right here. So the first thing you have to do with this is you have to like pull this little molding off, which you'll see here. Now, every time you pull this off, it gets a little bit easier, which I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, but this pulls off. And once this pulls back, this opens up this little corner panel to be pulled out. I think the directions will tell you to use your little pry tool for that, but I have found I don't need to. I can get my fingers just in behind here and actually pull this out. Again, I'm doing it with one hand, obviously, as I'm talking to you all. As this pulls out away from the car this way, then you have two clips you're going to pull out away from the car, like a T away from it. And literally, it's that simple. That part comes out. And just so you see the back of this to see how it came out, so you have those little clips here, which these are kind of clipping into the car this way. That's when I pull this little outside part first, I'm pulling it out away from the car this way. And then you can see these clips on the end are just straight out once you get this edge part loose. Next up I have to do is I have to remove this whole little piece going from here all the way down into here. This all comes out in one big piece. Now it's mostly clipped, but there is one rivet you have to kind of pop out right here, and you're going to use that little black trim tool that came with it to do that.
I end up using the small end of that little included trim tool to pop out the top end of that rivet. And once you get that little top end out, the whole thing comes out with it. Then you remove this whole little front corner piece, which is held on with some clips.
So that exposes all the different wires, what to tap into. But before I get into those, I'm going to go ahead and pull off this little felt piece up top. Again, this one is just a series of clips, but you do have to kind of work your way around this one. You have to kind of mix being gentle, but also at the same time using a little bit of force.
So it's probably recommended that you use the little trim tool, but as you can see, I was able to kind of start it with my fingers, but then I just worked that tool all the way around, loosening up all the clips. Now the front was a little tougher, but again, still just pops off.
And now is where this little piece of plastic is going to come into play. Now I keep calling this a fish tape because that's what I'm using it as. And this just balances some rigidity and being able to push, but also still flexibility enough to work through these gaps. I'm just going to find an open spot through here and fish this little piece of plastic down through here, and it's going to come out down here where, if you'll notice, there's plenty of vacancy down in there, plenty of void. So I'll do this first, and then I'll end up taping onto this and pulling it through. You saw earlier, I already have two wires that I've fished through here, which, believe it or not, actually makes it harder, not easier, because I'm just filling up that void. But I still think there's plenty of room to be able to get this through.
And while this clip is sped up a little bit, this is still the actual first try. As you can see, I did have to work it around a little bit, but eventually you will be able to push this through, and it'll act as that fish tape.
Now that I have that fish through, I'm going to go ahead and hook up these different harnesses to at least see what I'm working with, to know what I actually have to put up in here. Okay, so as we get down in here, if you initially come to this and you've never messed with it, there's not going to be a cord in here. So I'm going to take this cord out. I added this cord, again, for that screen above my dash. So this is normally a female agent. Now, when I put this in here, the benefit of this other little device that I also got from Tesstudio is it comes with a female on the other end. So in my case, I'm just plugging into this, whereas if you're putting this in and you have not done that, you'd plug into here. But again, the benefit is with Tesstudio is I'm going to plug this in, then they still leave me this female available for another accessory in the future, and they just daisy chain together. Now, daisy chained 3 different things together in my Cybertruck. So I know that the power of the vehicle can definitely handle this. You're not overloading it by any means. These are just the little LED lights, little LED screens. None of this is drawing that much power.
Here I'm snapping that harness actually into place.
Now we're going to tap into here, which is the power. Now on a previous accessory, again, that screen, you'll see I already tapped onto here,
And so this is passing on through. So I can disconnect in T in here, or I can disconnect T in here. Either way, they're going to daisy chain. But because this one is tucked back in here farther, it's going to be easier for me to hide this all later. I'm going to go ahead and tap into here. But again, either one of these would be fine. So I opened up that back section there that I said, and it was just a matter of pushing one side of the T into each of the opening compartments that were available. And then it was a matter of finding this little adapter. So the end of that T it is plugged into is like a little Type-C connection, which is really just like an extension to be able to eventually go up and through the dash. So once I have that plugged in, now I just went through and just started tucking all this back into that void behind the dash, because you want to make sure you're not pinching anything back in there. So this can take a minute if you want to do it right, and then it's a matter of stringing that little wire up. So now I've just taken this little light and stretched it across the whole length of the dash, because I want to know how far it's going to go, because I just found out, which I was assuming, it's a little short on both ends, and I want it to be equally short, just so the turn signals balance out and one end's not touching, the other end's way short. With that, I'm kind of figuring here that this light is going to end up landing somewhere about here, which means I have to find a way to get this plugged in, which I think the best way to do this is to try to put this up here, and then I'm going to end up wrapping this around this little edge of plastic right here, into where eventually it's going to end up going down into here, because I'm going to pull this out, which is going to be connected to the wire down here. It's going to pull through. I'm going to clip these together, and I'm thinking once I have this connected, I'm actually going to end up sliding this back down in here to where that big plastic connection is safe underneath the dash. So using electrical tape, I taped the end of this wire down in the lower dash to the end of this fish tape. Once I had it taped on really well, I pulled the other end of the fish tape and kind of fed it through a little bit with my right hand, until eventually I was able to feed it all the way through to that wire was up here on the top part of the dash. And then of course, once I had it on the top side, I untaped it from the fish tape. Now, if I've hooked this all up right, when I actually make this final connection right here, the light should come on because the power is already supplied down below. So we'll see. Moment of truth. All right, and we've got light. I don't know if you can see that, but we've got light. Now I actually have to pull off the backing of this double stick tape and actually glue this down to the dash. Now, you have kind of a decision to make here. The farther in this way towards the windshield, the more hidden it's going to be and the more subtle those lights going to be. But the farther out, it's going to be a little bit more bright, but you run the chance of seeing this little black. So I think I'm going to kind of split the difference and put it right in the middle here, rather as not to totally hide it and rather as not to totally expose it. Because I think I'd rather have subtle, because I don't want it to compete with the other light that's already in the car. So I went ahead and pulled the backing of this double stick tape off the back side of this little light strip. Then I went ahead and carefully, little by little, stuck it all the way down, making sure it was really even so it didn't look odd. Put my little front-facing screen back in place, and then it was a matter of just making sure all my wire was out of the way and then clipping this little top trim piece back on. Again, being very careful not to pinch a wire, because I think you could easily do that. All right, so my preference is to test it before I put all this back in together, but I do recall now, and I've done the things in the past, that I need this door to shut in order for all these lights to work. Like specifically the little turn signal over here, I don't think it's going to work with this light on. And by the way, it also won't work if your car is charged. But in order to shut this door, I have to put this little rubber weather stripping all the way back around. So I am going to go ahead and snap it all back into place, and just fingers crossed I got it all good. This all pushes back into place just as you pulled it out. The only thing you have to be careful is make sure you're not hooking a wire, because you did just pull all those little wires out as you're putting it back in. So you slide that into place, you put the little rivet back in, you put this little corner triangle end piece on the edge of that dash, then it's a matter of putting that weather stripping back on all the way around. A couple things of note as I get into the car. So if you can see my left turn signal here, it's gonna light up there, you can see that. You turn that on, sure enough, the little light blinks green. But if I open my door, it doesn't work. Now my turn signal still works on the screen, but that won't work until the door is shut. So even if the back door is open on my driver's side, then the signal won't work, or if the passenger rear door is open, then the passenger one won't work. Okay, so now it's getting dusk, so these lights are gonna pop a little bit, but also I'm in traffic, so we're gonna have to test out the blind spot awareness and just show you the different colors that these lights can do. So there's 3 different light colors that you'll see on this little awareness light bar. The first one is green, so if I just have my turn signal on, you'll see the light turns green. The second one is an amber color, kind of like an orange color. That'll pop up if I have somebody in my blind spot. So as I approach this car here on my right, you'll see the orange light comes on. And the third color is a red. The red will be a combination of the two. Let's say I have somebody in my blind spot, it turns orange, and then I activate my blinker. Or vice versa, I have my blinker activated and then somebody pulls,
into my blind spot. As I pass this person here that's on my right, you'll notice, so it's green. And now as I approach, it'll eventually turn amber. As that amber's on, now if I initiate my turn signal, it's gonna start blinking me red, just warning me, hey, there's somebody in your blind spot. And if I pull out of that blind spot, now that turn signal will go green again. It also has a couple other cool modes, like this one here where it rotates colors. It does this when you're in full self-driving mode, which is kind of cool. Then it also does this cool little running light mode, where it's just green lights running across the dash when it's in charging operation. And then also, it will go off when you shut the door. When you open up, this little animation will come on that runs all the way across the dash with a little bright white light. But also, you notice there that little white light on the very edge, that's just showing you the door's open. So the door shuts, that goes off. And that little white light, as you see here, also works if a rear door is open. Kind of cool little thing. All right, so is this like a must-have? You gotta have this to your car? Well, no, but also at the same time, is it kind of like a cool little accessory for like under 150 bucks you can add to your car? Yeah. If it's something you're interested in, I'll leave the link down in the description below. And if you use my channel name, you'll get 20% off the order. As always, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.